Mastering for different media requires extra work. Major streaming platforms will accept 24-bit wave at 48 kHz and perform the transcoding themselves, but they have different ideas about what the perceived loudness of your music should be, and they expect you to conform to them. You need to target -16 LUFS for Apple Music and -14 LUFS for other major streaming services, such as YouTube and Deezer. If you are planning to cut vinyl records, your mix should be even quieter. Additionally, you must consider true peak requirements, which vary across different media. With Ardour, you don't have to make all these adjustments manually every time you need to export a project. Instead, you can export multiple variations of a mix from presets. Let's learn how to do that. Open your project and go to File, Export, Export to Audio Files. Let's start with vinyl, as it's likely the quietest medium you would likely master for. Click the New button here. This opens a dialog for creating a new export preset. Your pressing plant will give you the specs you need to dial in, which is why we don't include a vinyl preset. The specs will likely request 16 or 24-bit wave at 48 or 96 kHz. You also need to set the peak level between -3 and -6 dBFS. Let's go with -6 to give engineers more headroom. Now change the label to Vinyl and click Save. Let's add another export option. Click Add Another Format here. Then click on the newly added tab and select Apple Music in the Format drop-down list. If you click Edit, you will see that this preset targets the platform's requirements, normalizing to -16 LUFS with true peak limited to -1 dBTP. Let's add output for Amazon Music. If you open its settings, you will see that it will normalize to -14 LUFS and set the true peak limit to -2 dBTP. Now, every time you open the Export Audio Files dialog, Ardour will display these formats readily available here. You only need to select one and click Export. You can also create other types of mix variations. For example, you can render a project with and without an audio watermark. In that case, you will have the final mix ready to send to your client once you get paid. Finally, Ardour comes with predefined export sets that you can select here at the top of the dialog. For example, if you want to export the session for as many streaming services as possible, you can click here and select Streaming. Now you have 4 formats automatically added for you. One for SoundCloud and Spotify, one for YouTube and Deezer, one for Apple Music, and one for Amazon Music. If you want to create your own export sets, add your custom export formats, type the name of the export set here, then click New. The export set will be saved and will become immediately available.